मेरे दादाजी ने 1990 में MRF शेयर्स लिए थे 20,000 सर.
We regularly keep hearing and reading about stories of Indians finding old share certificates worth lakhs hidden in forgotten places. You know that old steel cupboard at home where important documents are kept? Many Indian families have discovered share certificates there, sometimes worth lakhs, tucked away between property papers and old passbooks. Maybe your grandfather bought Wipro shares in the 1980s, or your parents invested in Reliance decades ago. But here's the problem. You cannot sell these physical shares directly today. After the introduction of demat accounts, SEBI made it mandatory for all stock market trades to happen only in demat form. Think of a demat account as a digital locker for shares. So if you want to sell these physical shares or transfer them to someone else, you'll first have to convert them to demat form. If you don't have a demat account yet, you can easily open one with Zerodha by clicking on the link in the description and following the simple on-screen instructions. Now, before I show you the conversion process, let me quickly explain why we can't use physical shares anymore. Think about how we used to send money before UPI. Remember going to the bank, filling forms, waiting in queues? That's exactly how share trading worked with physical share certificates. Every time someone bought or sold shares, they dealt with couriers carrying valuable documents, risk of certificates getting lost or damaged, weeks of waiting for transfers, signature mismatches causing rejections, and worst of all, forgery risks. In 1996, India introduced the demat system through NSDL, basically email for your shares. Instead of paper, your ownership exists electronically. And by January 2002, SEBI made it mandatory for all stock market trades to happen only in demat form. Then in April 2019, they went a step further. You can't even transfer physical shares anymore except for cases like inheritance. So those physical share certificates that you found, well, they're still yours, but they're frozen assets. Think of it like having money you can't spend. But let's fix that now. Let's start the conversion process. When converting physical shares, you need to ensure all details on your share certificates match your demat account, your PAN card, and the official records. Here are 3 critical details for you to verify on your certificates. First, verify the company name and the face value. Your share certificate might show Hindustan Liver, but the company is now Hindustan Unilever. The face value might have changed too, due to stock splits or corporate actions. Here's how you can check. Visit bseindia.com or naceindia.com, search for the company name and verify the current face value. If the details don't match, contact the company's RTA, that is Registrar and Transfer Agent. Their details are available on both BSE and NSE or the company's website. Next comes the name verification, and this is crucial. The name on your certificate must exactly match the name in your demat account. Even Kumar versus K can create problems. Here's how to handle common scenarios. If the name is changed after marriage, you'll need a notarized marriage certificate. For spelling variations, you need a gazette letter or an affidavit on government stamp paper. The affidavit must clearly state that the name on the demat account and the share certificate belong to the same person. And if you have multiple companies with name issues, you'll need notarized copies of the affidavit for each company. And here's a critical detail people often overlook. If the shares are held jointly, like Karthik and Sunita, the same sequence must exist in your demat account. You can't have Sunita and Karthik in the demat if the share certificate shows otherwise. If the sequences don't match, you need to submit a transposition form to the depository participant. Remember, individual shares cannot be dematerialized into joint accounts and vice versa. Now, with your certificates verified, let's gather the 4 essential documents for submission. First, the DRF, short for Dematerialization Request Form. This is your main application. You'll need 2 copies of the DRF if your share certificate numbers are in sequence, like 101, 102, and 103. And if they're not in sequence, you'll also need DRF annexures. You can download the DRF and the annexures from the link provided in the description. For address proof, If you've moved since getting the shares, provide self-attested copies of both the old proof like dividend warrants and allotment advice and new proof like your Aadhaar card and your passport. Also keep a self-attested copy of your PAN card ready and the original share certificates as well. Yes, you'll have to send the actual certificates. Now let me quickly walk you through the DRF form and how you can fill it like we're sitting together. Step 1. Your 16-digit demat account number. Step 2. Today's date. Step 3. Leave the DRN and application slip number fields blank. Zerodha fills this. Step 4. Mark if the shares are free securities, that is, they are tradable on the stock exchange, or if they are logged in securities like ELSS funds. Step 5. Company name and ISIN. Find the ISIN on the BSE and NSE websites. It's like the Aadhaar number for that company's shares. Step 6. Security type. Select equity for shares and so on. Step 7. The folio number. This is printed on your share certificate and it's like a customer ID. Step 8. Certificate numbers and distinctive numbers. Copy these exactly from your certificates. Step 9. Quantity. The number of shares under each folio number. Step 10. Number of certificates in words. Step 11. The face value. You can check this on BSE and NSE websites. Step 12. Quantity to dematerialize in figures and words. And here's a pro tip. If you have shares of multiple companies, use separate DRF for each company. If you run out of space, download and attach the DRF annexures. For logged-in securities, fill separate DRFs for securities with different release dates. And now for the final details. Fill account holder names in the same order as the demat account. All account holders must sign. Signatures should match those registered with Zerodha and the company's RTA. If you want to check the signature that you've submitted at Zerodha, you can also do that on console. Leave the participant authorization and acknowledgement sections blank. Before sending the documents, verify everything by creating a ticket at support.zerodha.com. This creates a reference number and helps us track your submission. We'll look at all the documents you've submitted and let you know if anything is missing. And once we confirm that everything is good, you can then courier the hard copies to the address shown on the screen. Let me give you all the costs involved in the dematerialization process. It's 150 rupees per share certificate, and you'll also have to pay 100 rupees for courier charges per dematerialization request. This is because we have to courier all the forms to the RTA. And 18% GST is applicable on the total amount. Let me give you a real-world example so that you understand the charges better. Let's say you have 5 share certificates, so that would cost you 750 plus 100 for the courier charges plus overall 18% GST on this. So the total would be 1003 rupees. The RTA takes up to 25 working days to complete the dematerialization process. Once the shares are dematerialized, manually update the buy average on console for accurate tax calculations. Check the link in the description for instructions. Now here's one final verification you need to do before you send the documents. Some shares might be on CDSL's pending list and they cannot be converted until they are removed from the pending list. Check the link in the description to verify your company's status on CDSL's pending list. If your company appears on this list, contact the company's RTA to confirm the current processing status before submitting your documents. If the RTA confirms they are actively handling the dematerialization requests, you can proceed with document submission alongside their written confirmation. If the RTA reports that they've temporarily suspended processing the dematerialization request, you'll need to wait until CDSL removes the company from their pending list. And that's it. Follow these steps carefully, double check your documents, and in about 25 days, your physical shares will be in your demat account. If you need any help during the process, please feel free to reach out to our support team. The details will be shown on the screen. Investments in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing. Brokerage will not exceed SEBI prescribed limits.